Games Workshop is selling Warhammer 40k at car dealerships now.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com. So imagine heading to a Hyundai dealership of all things to buy a car and walking out with a box of Space Marines. Kind of sounds like a meme, right? Insert, I don't know, high price or whatever, slap these tires here. Either way, it's real, and Games Workshop products are now being sold at a car dealership in California, and the hobby community has some thoughts. So Visalia Hyundai in California has carved out a part of its showroom for basically a mini game store. Warhammer 40k, trading cards, paints, books, even toy figures. And technically by Games Workshop's own rules on the retailer resource site, any physical public-facing store can qualify as a stockist. So technically this dealership is just as legitimate as your local game store, at least in Games Workshop size. And also their, trading card and gaming card distributor size too. But this is where the debate kicks in, right? Because game stores aren't just about selling models, they're where players meet. Leagues happen, there's hobby nights to keep the community alive, bring in new players. But the real problem here in 2025, 2026 is, if stock is getting limited, right, which it is, and getting spread out to places like car dealerships or, corner drug stores or antique stores, it could leave game shop scenes overall struggling to get the newest kits when they're already having a hard time doing it. We've seen Warhammer pop up in unusual spots before. You can get the White Dwarf at Walmart. You can get the starter box sets and smaller limited offerings at like Target and Barnes & Noble. But this time, it's a full stockist account at a car dealership, theoretically pulling from the same allocation as every other game store here in America. I guess on one hand, some people see it as a bold way to reach new players or to service the community. But I think others might worry that, it's just a quirky experiment that chips away at the backbone of the hobby, which, local game stores actually support the community. And as a matter of fact, there are 2 such game stores just within a few miles of that Hyundai dealership, which is just wild when you pull it up on the GW store locator. So, overall, what do you think? Is this the start of a new retail trend? I've heard of Match the Gathering meetups at Arby's. GameStop's been experimenting with all sorts of product mix. And, I've seen a folding table in my local GameStop that people could come in and play Magic. Or is this just like a one-off novelty? Would, why not get a 40k box set and an oil change all in one trip? What do you think?
Thanks for watching. Supporting us is super easy. Just click on the article links provided, subscribe, or follow us right here. And remember, next time you're searching for the best Warhammer news, type Spiky Bits into Google to get the most accurate info. See you in the next one.